Hello, I'm Joshua from tinyhousebasics.com, and today we're going to show you how to hook up your tiny house trailer. Now, many of our customers around the country choose to come to our factories and pick up the trailer themselves. After all, that's kind of part of the fun of starting your journey. So we're going to show you around a 24-foot tiny house trailer and show you how to set it up for a successful tow home to get started on your build. All right, so follow me and we'll go over this 24-foot tiny house trailer. So here is our 24-foot 14K tiny house trailer. So this has the flush cross members to have the cross members flush with the top of the deck. Standard 4-foot length tongue. The deck width on this is 96 inches. So you can see how it just kind of comes inside the fenders. And so this is tandem axle, 7K. 7,000 pound gross weight. Okay, so now the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that the trailer is relatively level when you're hooking it up to the truck. Now it's a little bit raised right now. That's so I can get it onto the ball. And so we back the truck up right onto the ball. So this is a 2 5/16 ball hitch, and this is a 2 5/16 coupler. So what we'll do, this one has a drop leg jack, so it has the little pin in there that kind of simplifies it so you don't have to like crank all the way down. So we will lower the jack. So once it's lowered, push this clip in until it locks down. We'll stick the pin in here temporarily, and then we will grab the chains. So this is the right chain. We will cross it over. If the chain seems to hang down too low, a quick trick you can do is just spin it. Spin the chain, and then it'll tighten up some slack right there. So we'll take the second chain. We'll show you again. We'll spin it just to kind of tighten up that chain. And then we will go to the other side and clip it in. Next up is the emergency brake controller. So we'll take off the twist tie. Try and do this all one-handed. So this is the emergency brake. So here's a little control box and the battery right here. So if this comes disconnected, like if the trailer comes disconnected from the truck, this will pull out, and that will be the emergency brake to activate the trailer brakes. And you just push it in, make sure you get it in correctly. Push it in and you're good to go. So take the other end of the loop, go through your truck's connection, and then go right into here, into this pin, and then kind of just stick it in there. And then we're gonna take the 7-way connector. Now this is the type of trailer connection that will be able to power the lights, brake lights, running lights, power this battery for the emergency brakes, and most importantly, power the brakes from your truck. Now this is another good time to mention that you will need a brake controller on your truck to be able to power these on the trailer. So we'll unwrap this. Now this is an extra long cable. So sometimes I'll just kind of wrap it underneath here to take off some of the slack. And then hook it into the little coupler pin. And then here's your electrical connection. So we lift that up. And so this is usually on the top. It's a little notch. Find it on your electrical box. So it's on the top on this truck. So we'll take that. We'll snap it in, and we'll make sure there's a little notch. Make sure that hits the little notch that's right here. And so it locks and keeps it in. So at this point, we'll just crank up the jack the rest of the way. Now, once it's off the ground, you could pull off this little pin. If you have a drop leg jack, pull it out. The jack is going to drop. Lift it up. Go back through. Clip it on. And now you saved yourself a bunch of time cranking it up. But it's still a good idea if you're traveling a large distance just to crank the jack up all the way. Okay. Now verify all your connections are correct. And the trailer is level. Now next up, it's best to tighten down the wheels before you leave. So you can use a crowbar like this. Which will set right here. Or you can use a torque wrench. So I have a torque wrench. So the value, I'm not sure if you can see it. Let's see, there it is. About 124. Now the range for a 7K axle and most trailer axles is 120 foot-pounds to 140 foot-pounds. You'll want to do is, there's 8 lugs. You want to tighten this one first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So tighten these all to 120, anywhere from 120 to 140 foot-pounds. And then after you do that, go back around once more. So we'll kind of show you what it looks like with the torque wrench. So I would start at the top, it's easy to remember. And there will be a click on the torque wrench. So if you hear that click, that means we reached 124. That's what I had it set at. Here's 2. Bolt number 2. There we go. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. And then it's good to run it by one more time through the sequence, which I won't do at all. But see this one, how it loosened? And this was the first one we started with. Here's number 2. And see, you can see how it loosened. So go through the sequence one more time. Again, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now you'll want to do that on all 4 tires. And then, so when you do that, when you leave, make sure to check the torque again in 50 miles on your first towing trip. And then after that, check an additional 100 miles to see how tight they are. And then you'll be good to go. And you should probably check about every month afterwards. And if you have a friend, you want to start up the truck, make sure the electrical connections are on. So let's go do that now. Now, here we'll show you. This is the brake controller I have. It's just a Curt Reflex brake controller. I got this from eTrailer.com. The 2 dots on this one means that it's connected. So when I push this, I'll see a number, and that is my maximum braking power. All right, so that's my maximum braking power. Now, since I have an empty trailer, I don't really need it that high. This one I have set to 3.4 because I don't want the brakes to lock up too easily. But to adjust it on this particular one, there's a little dial right here. You can increase it. Now, if you're towing a full-fledged tiny house and your truck is capable of doing it, 9.9, that's the maximum braking power. Or you could lower it down, and you could adjust as you go. So you don't want to adjust when you're driving, but kind of you could put the truck in park, and then you can adjust it. So let's see, where are we at? 3.5 is pretty good for an empty trailer for me. And there you go. If say you're in a situation where you want to brake the trailer individually, you can press that. That's the emergency brake. Most trucks have that. So let's turn on. Headlights are on. Let's go check the taillights. Okay, so running light is on. Rear running lights. Brake lights. Center brake stack right here, the center light bar. Now it's going to be hard to touch the brakes by ourselves, but I already tested it with the brake controller. So we'll test the blinker. There we go, we can see it's working. Now let's test the right blinker. There we go. We are good to go and ready to tow. So make sure you do tighten all the wheels. Make sure your connections are good. Make sure that's clipped in. All these are kind of out of the way. Jack is up and you're ready to hit the road. Thank you for watching. We hope this video was informative and helps you have more confidence in towing your tiny house trailer for the first time. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Please give a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, Tiny House Basics. You could also find us on Instagram at Tiny House Basics. And to request a free tiny house trailer quote, please go to our website at www.tinyhousebasics.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.